Welcome back, everyone. This is LCQ for the VCT Game Changers APAC series, where two slots for the upcoming Elite series are in contention. I'm Zach, and with me here is Grammy, and we just saw a very exciting best of three that went incredibly close despite being a 2-0. It is going to be X Team Bo who are moving on to the upper bracket, but that was the upper bracket game that we saw. Now, right now, we have a best of three coming up that is an elimination match between Madness Zen and Black Magic. So, Grammy, how are you feeling about this?
I'm honestly really excited to see how what these teams have to bring to the table here today because as you mentioned it is going to be an elimination matchup here. That means there's so much more at stake for both these teams. If they do get knocked out of this LCQ, they won't have a chance to make it to elite. And once again, we are going to see the lineup for the side of Madness Esports here coming through.
Yeah, these players, they had a bit of an unfortunate time yesterday. They got 2-0'd and got sent down to the lower bracket. The first map, especially Bind, which is going to be what we're seeing first today as well, if I'm not wrong, Glee, was pretty close. It was 13-10. And I think some of the players that you really want to watch out for is going to be, of course, Michui on that dual stroll. She likes playing the Jet. She likes playing the Raze. She's the player that you really want to watch out for. But also T on that Brimstone, especially on a map of Bind, she is kind of dangerous as well. So a team that if they play their cards right, they can prove to be quite a threat. And we saw that yesterday. So they have to really pull themselves together and try to get through the series so that they can move on in this competition and keep their hopes alive here.
Now the other side of the server, we are gonna be hitting. We are gonna be seeing the lineup for the side of Black Magic series, Malvi, Thousand Miles Wisdom, as well as Yamro.
Yeah, I love that name by the way, Yamril. It's really cool. But yesterday Black Magic as well, they had a little bit of a better time. They were able to at least take a map away from the winners of the last series, X Team Bo. So that is something that does go in their favor. They won a sense, in fact, against them. So that is a map that we're not going to be seeing unfortunately today, though, because it's just bad for them because it is one of their stronger maps. And the map that they managed to pick first up today is going to be Bind, which they lost yesterday to the side of X Team Bo. So both these teams have lost the map of Bind yesterday in their respective series. So they are going to be feeling they have probably gone back to the drawing board. They have done a little bit of analysis, but that is map number two. So I think map number one, it is going to be Breeze, in fact, and this is pretty exciting. It's interesting that this has been the pick coming in from Black Magic here, if I'm not wrong, and the fact that they're going to be starting off on defense, that's going to put them on a little bit of a back foot, considering how the map is played.
Yeah, Madness Zen actually opting to go on the attack this time around. For Breeze, in fact, I think Breeze is a map with so many long angles, which really, I think it really comes down to how good your mechanical skill is on top of how your utility is being played, but more so as compared to other maps, your mechanical skill is going to be a very strong factor coming into Breeze.
I agree with you there, and this is a map which has the most Vandal pick rates apart from Icebox. So I think you will be seeing a lot of those very clean 160 headshots coming in, unless of course you're playing the Viper here. But when it comes to Breeze agent comps for both of these teams, I was looking through them, Grammy, today when I was a little bit more free, and for Breeze, especially for the side of Madness, and they haven't really played the map much, which is very surprising because they've been playing since I believe it was Open 4 or Open 3. They've been around for a while, and the fact that they haven't played either Fracture or Breeze, that's pretty interesting to me. So they're going to be probably starting off a little bit on the back foot here because this is the map which they have chosen not to play. They usually tend to ban it quite a bit. So they are going to be forced into playing it this time around because they really did not want a set to cut through here, looking at the vetoes so far. But yeah, the fact that it is going to be Breeze that they're heading into first, it's going to make things quite rough for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. They might not be so comfortable playing Breeze this time around, but I mean, they did ban out Icebox at the first play, which makes sense because they didn't do as well yesterday against base 6, right? They got knocked down to the lower bracket with like what four 5 or 6 to 13 scoreline on Icebox, and that wasn't the best look for them. So they instantly just banned that out. And Black Magic picking up Breeze, I think that's pretty interesting because they've so far I think they've only played it once.
Yeah, they've only played it once. They're relatively, and I mean, the one time that they played it, they had a pretty good win rate. And the fact is that they won that by against a team which made it through the playoffs in a very convincing margin. So it was a 13-8, so it's not bad. It's a map that they do feel pretty confident on. And looking at the lineup that they have, they like to run that double initiator, high info comp, which also lets them play aggressively because they like to run that jet. So it is something that could go in their favor on this particular map. But what do you think are likely possibilities that we'll see for the map of Breeze when it comes to agent comps, Grammy?
I mean, Viper is pretty much a must pick for Breeze. So I definitely think we'll see a Viper. But in terms of Sentinels, I think it's kind of up for grabs. I do still think Chamber is one of the best Sentinels that you can get on Breeze though. Because, okay, to be fair, can Chamber really be considered a Sentinel because of how aggressive his playstyle can be? Because his ultimate is literally an operator, and especially since we are playing on the previous patch, his rendezvous hasn't been nerfed yet, so that's gonna be very very strong coming into Breeze, especially with Chamber, that operator, and the headhunter able to utilize those long angles to his advantage. Especially, I think since the Tour de Force right now in the previous patch, it still deals 150 anywhere that you shoot, especially even the legs, as compared to now where it only deals 120. So it's gonna be very very strong.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And also on those pistol rounds, that headhunter has incredible value there. So because you can still afford to, since we're on the previous patch, you can still afford to buy 6 or even 8 of those bullets if you really, really want to. Though most of the time you just buy that trademark instead. And that's another thing, right? The one area of the map that you really need Sentinel to kind of lock down is that Hall's area, and Chambers trademark does the job just fine. So you get to play aggressively, you get to have a lot of fun, and let's see if we are going to be seeing a chamber or not for both of these teams heading into map number 1. Breeze here, because I think Agent Select is absolutely ready right now.
Breeze, tropical paradise right here. We're getting a bird's eye view of the map. And I think Breeze, we did talk about a Viper, we talked about a Chamber. And in terms of initiators, what do you think we're going to see?
I think that a very popular initiator is, of course, the Sova here on this particular map because, again, info-wise, he's very, very strong, and you really have to clear out a lot of these pesky angles before you can make any kind of headway onto side. And yep, immediately you do see both teams picking the Sova and Chamber, and of course the Viper, like you mentioned. But Ziju going in for that KO, I like that quite a bit because when you know that your opposition is going to be running a Chamber and a Viper, having that 0 points or having that null command, it just enables you to be able to push onto sites with almost no care, for lack of a better word. On the opposite side, though, it is going to be Black Magic not really switching around the comp that they've run with success. They are going to be sticking with the Sky, and yeah, the only main difference between these two comps is going to be the initiator. One has a KO and the other has a Sky. But that might change the playstyle completely because, KO, you can basically play him as a duelist if you're careful enough. You have those flashes, you have that, that molly that you can use to cut off a lot of angles, so you can play him very aggressively. So I think you'll see Michuvi and Ziju both trying to get quite a bit of space on that map there.
And I do think, even though Sky doesn't have that much of an aggressive playstyle as compared to KO, Malvai, that with that regrowth ability, she's able to support her teammates to go in for these more aggressive peaks in the, like, especially when you have like a Jet or Chamber, which on the side of Black Magic they have both Penny Axe and Sirius. So if they were to go in for these aggressive peaks and they were to get tagged up, they would still be able to heal back up to 100 health points with that regrowth ability of Malvai.
I agree with you there. So that regrowth is good, and of course, Sky also has a very informative kit. It's not as good as a Sova, sure, but that Trailblazer that can prove to be incredibly good especially when you're pushing onto this B side when you want to clear out those corners to the left or even just push towards the elbow area. A lot of the areas where the Trailblazer can find a lot of value. Malvai's, she's a really good pick as well. So both these teams do have quite Comstead let them play a little bit aggressively because again you can toss down the 0 point, you'll have the information as to whether a player is coming there or not. With the same with the guiding light, you won't know exactly how many people or who is there, but you'll still be able to get some kind of information at the very least. So that's going to enable both these jets and these chambers to play much more aggressively. The fact that these agents have that kind of ability to let them get away after getting a pick or even getting some information with some aggression, that is huge coming in, especially for chambers. I like the chambers name, by the way. The fact that it's serious, it shows that she's absolutely serious about taking black magic into in this map and taking the map away in their favor. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm still kind of thinking about the initiator matchup, Sky versus KO. That's so interesting because I don't think we see a lot of KO on Breeze, do we?
I don't think we do. At least not in the game changers. We don't see it as much. You do see it quite a bit in the professional matches. You see it in
Yeah.
VCT. It has a pretty high pick rate actually because of how much everybody loves to run chamber. It seems like KO has naturally gotten a little bit of an advantage when it comes to pick rates here. So he does get some love. I'm glad to see that more people are picking him up, and it might be a difference maker because on those rounds when Sirius is playing with the Tour de Force or with just that headhunter, that's an instant shutdown right there. And oh wow, look at this! All the players from the side of the attackers here are grouped up outside this A site. I think they're just waiting for the push or for any kind of information that the defense tries to get, but they're not doing anything so far. So they're going to be making their way forward right now as they try to get some kind of control onto this A side already. Though mid control has been established here by the defense. Look at the position of both the Sky as well as the Jet here, Grimmy.
Yeah, speaking of pushes, Sirius on the other side of the map already pushed out B mains. That's so much information gained on the side of Black Magic. They're aware that there's no one down B, no one down mid, so A must be the location that the side of Madness Esports are gonna be executing here. We already see Michui heading towards this side, but Ziju, who's able to find that first pickup, he as well good for one. But Penny X fires right back with the Sheriff. 2 kills to an name and Maobai with the trade as well. Michui and Ziju pull it right back to a 1v2 situation for Sirius.
I don't think they know where exactly Sirius is, but that ability being put down is gonna give away information as to where exactly she is. And well, both these players have to hold the line right now. I think Ziju does have one flash left, so if they can put it down at the right time, they might be connecting perfectly. And Sirius does get flashed, but nevertheless stays alive because she doesn't lose her cool. Now, I think she's aware that the push out might have come through once she clears this angle, so she's gonna be tapping the spike and falling back, seeing if anybody is going to be peeking her. And oh no, that 0 point was absolutely impeccable because that's going to keep the headhunter from finding any value. And even though Sirius is able to get some kills with the classic, 1 kill with the classic, it's nevertheless going to be Michui who takes her on. A beautiful 0 point coming in. I think that's why they were playing so slow. They weren't double peeking because they were waiting for the 0 point to possibly connect and find value there.
Yeah, definitely agree with you right there. Especially since in the pistol rounds, chamber players love to utilize that headhunter, right? And I think the side of Madness Esports, they were aware of this, so they were just waiting for the 0 point to come back online for Ziju to try and close things out as safely as possible here.
I agree with you there, Grammy. And they do have the full buy coming in right now. In fact, I think it's gonna be 4 specters and 1 sheriff Michui who managed to pick up that little upgrade heading to this time. They're attacking mid, which is interesting because I think they want to take those longer range fights and ideally, be able to create some space. Already you see Michui pushing forward, trying to have an awkward battle with the Viper on site, but T is running out of time here. I'm sorry, it is going to be, in fact, 1,000 Miles who's running out of time, who gets flanked on all sides and finally being able to get that kill. But oh my god, look at Movize here pushing in through the door, able to get that pick. They're making this round very expensive at the least for these players right now. That shock dart though, finding so much value as Movize goes down there. It's all down to just Wish, who is going to go down as well. So Madness, they convert that round, but they lose 2 of their players, so that is going to be 2 specters dropped, I believe. Never mind, just 1 as Michui picks one up, so it's not entirely bad. But yeah, they do lose a specter into this bonus.
I don't think that's pretty. They got the recovery off pretty well, I think, because off the bat they lost like 2 players, but the rest of the players who were on site, they just really held their ground. I think Leiju and Mishui especially there, they were able to kind of recover the round in a sense. And this time around, Black Magic, they're gonna have full buys already. Penny Axe going in aggressive, finds the pick onto T. That is the Viper shut down. No more smokes for the side of Madness Esports.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate that that was the first kill going through, at least for the side of Madness. I'm sure that Black Magic are very happy about it. And still, Patty X once more, she's hungry for these picks. And the repositioning is impeccable because she might be able to find a second kill. But unfortunately, she's going to miss her shot. And off the back of that, it's going to be Madness who bring this back to a 3v3. Even managed to pick up those upgrades, which is going to be so important heading forward here. Saija leading the charge here with the help of that Vandal. Does take a little bit of damage, but Angel, it's going to be Angel, in fact, who's brought down to a super low HP. They're going to be booking it back towards his ace side, but it is going to be Moves who is still holding down from this box, getting the first pick already with the flash, spots out the second and connects the headshot. It's all down to just Ziju right now in a 1v3 situation. Does have the Spectre to work with, but her position is known and she's going to have to go all the way forward. I think at this point they just want to get the spike down for that bit of extra money, and they managed to do exactly that, get that null command online as well. So even if they lose the round, they still manage to do some damage and get those ultimates online. So yeah, it's not entirely bad for the side of Madness.
I definitely agree with you right there, but speaking of ultimates, Malvai has her own in the form of the Seekers already. So that's gonna be really, really useful in trying to figure out where the players of Madness Zen they're gonna be heading, especially in their buy round coming up. This was a really good power flash coming out from Malvai. It completely flashes up one of the players on the side of Madness Zen, and she was basically a sitting duck in the open, and Malvai was just able to convert that kill.
Yeah, this time around though, the full buy is kicking in for the side of both of these teams. They have the money. It's only going to be 1,000 Miles who is forced to play with the Guardian after losing her gun in the last round. Already you see the null command being popped. It's a very quick, very aggressive hit. Comes in towards this B side here. Series as well is going to be suppressed, so that's going to be no more rendezvous available if she wants to get out here. She's going to be stuck in this angle, and already you see Machui getting aggressive and finding that first pick. Spike going down as well, and off the back of that, it is going to be a side taken, but look at this. The Seekers have been invested. The flank is on, so two of these players are going to be pushing backwards, and oh no, Angel decides to rendezvous at the worst time and gets punished for that decision here. 4 players in fact are playing in the same angle, and the drone is going to spot all of them out as Patty X pushes forward, gets 4 on the round there, almost the ace, which is going to be denied by her own teammate. So even though the first pick goes in favor of the side of Madness Zen, they're still going to lose the round here because Patty X is not stoppable. She's unstoppable.
Definitely agree with you right there. Finding 4 kills in a round is especially so insane, especially in a round where both teams are fully bought up. I think why Madness didn't they lost that. The reason why they lost the round was that all their players were kind of stacked up at the same place, at the same location. So just a little bit of utility was enough to kind of bring them down to a disadvantage, especially in the form of that snake bite, which basically made the players of Madness Zen vulnerable and so much more like vulnerable to damage. But off the back of the 5th round, it's Angel who's gonna be finding the first pickup. Serious to trade it right back.
I think that they did manage to at least get the rifle in range of being able to be retrieved. So that's one gun that these players from Madness might possibly be able to pick up, but they're not risking it right now. They just want to play patiently here. And in the meantime, look at T, the angle that she's holding. She's gonna be pushing forward through the smoke, and will be able to get a pick for her troubles there. Wish going down. That's gonna get the Viper spit online. In the meantime, Ziju will catch a lurk on. Will catch the push on 1,000 Miles as well. So things looking a bit rough right now for the side of Black Magic. And even as I say that, the Panix is gonna go huge and connect that Blaze Storm right there, puts the smoke down to try and stay alive, and she still manages to do so. So she knows which angle to watch. The smoke is gonna go any second though, so she's gonna be caught in the open if she's not careful, which is why she's gonna be moving back. Just 2 players left right now for the side of BMG here. Make that 1 as Panix finally gets taken out. With just 35 HP left, he is going to be able to rotate over to the opposite side. And it's all down to just Sirius here in this 1v3 position. To be fair, one of the players is quite low, but it's still going to be a very, very tall task for them to be able to win this round here.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Sirius, she might just look to get some picks, try to get these rifles off the hands of Madness. And even if she loses this round, even if she falls to one of the players, she's gonna have the tour de force for the next. So, in terms of economy, that's gonna help them a little bit, I believe. Especially since Black Magic, if they do lose this round, they might not have the economy to be able to buy back up. Especially since T playing with these lineups already, definitely not a good situation for Sirius right here.
Yeah, there's no time left, and at this point, Sirius either has to try and stick it or just, or save the gun. She tries to go for the stick, and of course, T is gonna swing and get that pick. So a great round, a great thrifty coming in for the side of Madness here. Some insane sheriff shots, and of course, T finding that pick down towards Halls completely opens up so many areas of the map because not only did she manage to pick up an upgrade, she also managed to keep Panny X quite distracted there. So that is a huge benefit right now for the side of for the side of Madness, who are going to be able to not only buy in, they're also going to be able to build up the bank quite a bit because they won that thrifty there.
This time around, Osiris with the tour de force. Already, Angel's trying to go aggressive in his elbow position. And Penny X as well through mid.
The drone is going to not spot anybody out right now. It's towards both the drones, in fact, not finding any value here. Even as they get used, it seems like the hit is going to possibly be towards the B side because that's where the spike is. And Sirius, well, she's all the way on the A side. Panix as well, playing aggressively towards mid, waiting to see if anybody is going to be crossing over, but nobody's taking the bait so far. Both of these teams are aware of the possibility of aggression coming in, and they just don't want to give away that first pick and, possibly cause a site to crack open here. Panny X is the only one who's playing this dangerous game towards mid as she tries to find some value moving forward, but hasn't found anything so far. That's not going to be the case for Sirius though, who catches the unfortunate moment for that Sova as she tries to get that recon through, gets that pick. A beautiful headshot connects, and the tour de force is still going to be active on that side. They're gonna be falling away from it though as they go forward towards this B side instead. But both Mobiles and Miles, that crossfire is deadly, and they're gonna be finding so much value off the back of that. Just two players left right now for the side of Madness as they try to go forward. The flash connects, doesn't find much though. The damage is nevertheless done as the spike does not go down, and the players do. So that's going to be round number 3 for the side of Black Magic, and it was almost a flawless round.
I think in the previous round, I actually wanted to say that Sirius was playing. She was so important in making sure that Madness Esports wasn't able to enter the site, or they had to force a rotation there because I think it was T who was playing really close towards that opening, but
Here.
and especially since she had that Viper split already, Sirius was super important in that situation. And off the back of that first shot onto the Sova, she kind of forced the rotations out towards mid, where Penny X was kind of lurking, and the sound cues from the footsteps coming in from the side of Mana Zen really led to, I think, Black Magic being able to secure that round without much economic damage uh, in that round.
Yeah, I agree with you there. They keep 4 players alive, and even though the tour de force was online, they managed to find a lot of value with it. So that's pretty huge coming in for the side of Black Magic here. Their economy is quite bolstered, and because of that, they're gonna be able to buy in an operator as well. Panny X is gonna have that additional firepower online. For Madness Zen, though, they have 2 crucial ults, 3 in fact. They have 3 crucial ults here. The tour de force for Angel is ready. The Hunter's Fury as well as the Viper Spit are also there. So that's gonna make things more difficult if they want to try and play for the retake here, because once that Viper's pit goes down, it's incredibly difficult to retake the site because you take such a debuff when you're trying to push into it and you can't really find out where exactly the Viper is. This time around, it seems like they want to go for the mid push, but oh no, Michui's gonna be instantly punished by that cheeky angle being held there. The duelist is down, and that's gonna make it so much difficult for the players from Madness to really create space here. T trying to get the refract, playing aggressively so that she can possibly catch these players off guard. But now that the first pick has gone in their favor, Black Magic are very happy to just play really patiently here.
T's gonna get spotted out by Malvi there though, as she makes her way towards nest already. I really like how T is playing because she gets herself in these angles and puts these really interesting toxic screens that we don't normally see that Vipers do, especially in, I mean, regular pub games. But he able to find a pickup onto which Malvi trades it right back onto Ziju, and that's the spike down on his B side. Spike now in control of Black Magic.
Oh no, T goes down. It's such an important kill because she had the Viper Spit and she was the cavalry coming in from the other side of the map. And it's not going to happen right now because it's just going to be 10 seconds left on the clock. The spike still dropped in the open, and this crossfire, these players from the side of Madness, they're just not able to break it. And they're just going to save their weapons here. They don't have the economy to really try and push forward and cause damage. They just have to hold on to whatever they have. And that's going to be, at least they do have those Vandals that they can take into the next round. So that's round number. Never mind. Just one Vandal that they're gonna be taking into the next round. Round number 4 for Black Magic, who after losing those rounds, they're finally looking like they're back in form here.
Actually, both teams have the Viper's Pit and the Hunter's Fury already.
Very dangerous. They're it's gonna be, especially the Viper's Pit from T. It's one to watch out for. I think that preemptively the Viper's Pit might be invested on this B side if the defenders choose to, but they're not gonna do that. They're just gonna play for a 3-stack instead because they believe that the operator from PanEX can hold down a solo, which is what they're banking on here. And it's a good call because the hit is coming towards this B side instead, so it's gonna make things much more tough. They have to deal with all this utility, bait it out before they can really head in. And I don't think the 0 point really connected with anyone.
All 5 players stacked out outside B, so this is a pretty good read coming in from Black Magic, especially since they have the trademark for mid control. And if any player from the side of Madness Zen, they try to push up towards mid, they will be the players of Black Magic. They will note this, and they might be able to take advantage of it, especially in the form of Sirius with her positioning.
You are absolutely right. And yet again, they managed to get some kind of control towards mid. That trademark being broken is going to give away information that this angle is the one that's in danger. But oh no, Sirius is going to be able to get 2 headshots somehow, taking down both T and Michui, completely putting a halt to the push. Angel does find one with the headhunter, but that's going to be it because it's going to be round number 5 coming in for Black Magic, who have finally figured out, once they got that operator online, they figured out how to defend the map, and they are just not letting Madness find any kind of purchase here. And of course, that last round, it was Sirius who completely put a stop to the push coming in. Michui peaked too early, T was not ready to trade, and Sirius, well, she managed to gun down both of them right there. Wow, great round.
And coming to this next round, it's going to be a full buy from the side of Madness Zen as well. But they might run right into the crosshair of this operator being held by PanEX. Instantly off the bat, the guiding light is going to come through. Note down of that maybe 1 or 2 players outside this position here. Recon Dart come through as well. And they do note that there is going to be a player playing behind these pyramids.
Yeah, the operator has been given away. They know where it is, but it seems like they still want to try and contest it a little bit. They do have the flashes to help with that. Ziju will be able to shut, possibly this angle down if she uses her flashes right. But yep, that's gonna be the null command activated, so they know where exactly this operator is at the very least. Angel, in the meantime, will be able to find some value, and oh no, that is going to be the fragment getting kills. The wallbang coming through as well, and this quick push onto the A side is finding so much value right now, but it's a fake because the spike is heading all the way to B, and this might be a mistake because even though the spike is here, the rotation has come through, and Sirius might be able to connect the kills, get the value here. It's down to a 1v3 right now, all down to just Wish, who has been spotted as well, so they know her position here. Gets the headshot, gets the kill, but only 10 HP left in this 1v2.
There they are.
Let's note down where one of the players is, and I think Wish is going to be aware that Ziju is going to be coming in from mid, but it's Zika to shut it down. 4 rounds on the board for Madness Zen to try and put a stop to Black Magic from having Black Magic snowball this into a really difficult situation. And I think the gun barrel of Malvi was peeking out a little bit too much there, and it was what cost her that position.
Yeah, really unfortunate, but I like that push coming in from them. The null command, the jet dash, everything. Of course, they almost messed it up because they tried to go in for the B push instead. And if Sirius had been able to get the second kill as well, that would have completely broken apart any kind of aggression coming in from Madness. But all's well that ends well. This round, both teams are still going to be able to have that full buy. This time, Sirius is going to be the one holding the operator here as they go in for the push towards the A side. Two players heading towards this halls area and three towards main. The Hunter's Fury is invested as well, blindly without any kind of tags, not able to find value as Panix is able to stay alive in a very healthy position as well. So she's going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. So if that door gets opened and during that distraction, they're able to get these picks. In the meantime, Angel already taking down Mulvice. That's a sky down and the site almost open. Panix does find one, but that's going to be it. It's going to come down to Ziju in this 1v2 and the spike still hasn't gone down. So that's going to make her task even more harder here.
Spike planted.
1v2 situation as this retake coming in from the side of Black Magic. Ziju does have the 0 point, but it's not going to matter because 1,000 miles is just going to take her out with a clean headshot. And she's going to get a defuse as well.
That's a great round coming in from them, and yep, Sirius is one away from her tour de force after she gets that diffuse done. So that's yet another ultimate that these players from Madness have to watch out for. I think they still haven't had a chance to really come at this Viper split because this time they usually, when they're pushing onto this A side, they tend to use the Viper towards the halls area to try and smoke it off and get through. So they haven't really had the chance to directly use that ultimate here, and I think both of the Vipers are holding on to it right now. So neither of them are really willing to invest it. Not just Fury as well online, and Movice has the Seekers back again. So a lot of huge ultimates available for Black Magic right now, and Madness, well, they're going to be in yet another eco run. I think they're banking on using that Viper split to somehow convert this round here. Vichui finding that first pick is going to be so important as she goes forward. It's going to come down to a 4v3. They have the Viper split online and also that Judge in the hands of T. I feel very scared right now for these players.
Vichui finds another headshot with that Blaze onto Malvi. It's numbers advantage in the favor of Madness Zen right now as Vichui trying to go in aggressive once again with this Blaze tailwind at the ready. Finds a third onto 1,000 miles. She's gonna get shut down by Wish though, but it doesn't matter because right now the numbers advantage is still in the favor of Madness Zen as they play in this Viper's Pit.
Yeah, they do. I think they're waiting for the recon to come, but I don't know if it's going to really spot anybody here because it gets instantly destroyed as expected. So, oh, that is unfortunate there. Wish tries to go forward, but instantly gets punished by that shotgun, and the Thrifty comes through, and that was some beautiful Blade Storm action coming in from Michui. She gets the first, gets a second as well, and finally she holds this lovely off angle that enables her to take down 1,000 miles. Sure, she immediately gets shut down after that the trade comes through, but that makes the possibility of this Viper Spit Judge possible in the first place. The fact that she was able to get so much space off the back of that ultimate is incredible, and that keeps Madness in the game. They're not going to let they have the possibility of a 6-6 half still open right now as they head into it. In fact, Michuli, she's going to be picking up the operator here, so the attackers have taken control of the operator.
Two operators, in fact, on the side of the attackers, Michui and Angel with the tour de force. This time around, it seems like Madness Zen is going a little bit slower this time around. Our drone gonna spot out one of the players at 0 point as well. So Sirius not gonna be able to rendezvous back to safety at all as the rendezvous is gonna get destroyed.
Ooh. Okay.
Sirius, she's quicker on the trigger. Takes out the tour de force in the form of Angel right there. So numbers advantage right now in the favor of Black Magic.
Yeah, and that's also going to be the trademark down, so that might make the possibility of a flank much more likely if they choose to go for that. Already you can see both the Viper and the Sky towards mid holding incredibly aggressive angles here. Meanwhile, Wish is playing with fire. She knows that there's an operator on Michui watching this angle, but she's still trying to jiggle peek it and do her best to go forward. Mobiles in the meantime will be launching those speakers to figure out some information as to where exactly these players are, and she's gonna know that they are gonna be playing towards this mid area, that they might be possibly falling back here.
30 seconds.
Sirius finds yet another, though, a third in fact on the round, stopping the push completely with 20 seconds left. They have to retrieve the spike and go forward. Well, They managed to pick it up, but they still have to go towards this A side because there's no time to rotate, and they still haven't managed to put Sirius off this angle. Finally, she gets taken down, but the damage is done because the rotations have come through, and it's all down to just Sova. Has to find 3 more, get the spike down somehow, but it's not happening. 7-5 half for Black Magic on their map pick.
30 seconds left.
Sirius finding that first pick was so crucial, and the fact that she just held down the side for 2 more after that, taking out both the Jet and the Viper, that just shut down so much firepower coming in from the side of Metazen. So off the back of that, they weren't really able to execute onto the side anymore, especially with the time running so low. So overall, really good round coming in from Black Magic right there to bring us to the second pistol round.
Yeah, you're right there. And this particular pistol round, I'm intrigued to see how exactly it's going to go. Because Madness, they have a chance to equalize scores here. But the thing is, on a map like Breeze, these attacking rounds are incredibly valuable. And there are so many areas where you can just try to sneak in and get some kind of control. And it's incredibly difficult to defend against a team on Breeze. So the fact that Black Magic managed to do that with such aplomb it's kudos to them. The fact that they did that was great. But now it's gonna be the side switch. They're gonna be on the attacking side, and they do have the Sky as well as the Silva to facilitate the kind of entry, but I think Pani X, she has quite a task on her shoulders because she's the one who has to create that space and really enable her teams to get onto site there.
Yeah, definitely agree with you with right there. I do think one of the reasons why Black Magic was able to convert so much on their defense was also because they were actively taking space and information all across the map. So they were kind of aware to where Mana Zen was mostly playing, which is most of the time it was towards A, and you would see the players of Black Magic, they would be pushing out towards B main, towards mid, and they got these players in all of these angles and positions to be able to kind of pick up some sound cues off of the players of Mana Zen. So I'm interested to see whether or not Mana Zen they will do the same, whether or not they'll do the same thing on their defending half.
I'm interested for that as well, and that was a great point that you mentioned that they were always looking for aggressive picks. Like so many rounds, they were very, very willing to fight for that mid control and establish their dominance on that particular part of the map, which caused so much troubles for the side of Madness End because they just weren't able to really take control of mid. So they were forced to play either towards the B main or A main or even towards elbow, and it's much more easier to lock down those areas, especially looking at where the utility was positioned. So the fact that the mid control was taken on defense that easily by Black Magic, it's a bad sign for Madness Zen. And unless they can pull off something similar, they're going to be in a bit of a rough spot. But we're going to be heading back into the game right now, and it seems like Black Magic on this attacking half, they're poised towards going either towards B or towards mid, mostly towards B, I think, looking at the positions of the players here. And it's going to be just Siju who has to put a stop to it because they've taken the gamble of stacking that A side, and they might have been proven wrong right now.
That 0 point not even going to connect onto anyone, so Ziju is just going in blind. Panax is the one who finds that first pickup onto Ziju. Off the back of that, Trailblazer to come through as well. And the players of Black Magic, they storm onto this B side and get the spike plant down.
I think that's one of the quickest spike plants we've seen today. Within 15 seconds of the round, it is going to be the spike going down. Already you see the positions being held by these Black Magic players, proving so pivotal here, which finally gets taken down, but not before doing so much damage to T here. Just 3 players left in this 3v4, and they have to retake all the space which they've gained so far. Already you see Sirius with that headout, they're finding value. It's just down to Angel and Sija here. You'll have to take the site back. Just one, in fact, it's all down to just this one player. Angel has quite a task on her hands, finds one, has to get 2 more, but the clock is ticking, and I don't think she has the time to defuse even if she can find these picks. So at this point, it's just her trying to get as much damage done as possible. She doesn't want to give this kill away, but nevertheless, it is going to be Moves who finds her, and with that, Black Magic are 8-5 right now, taking the lead here.
Picking up that pistol round off the back of that 7-5 lead is a really good... is really good for the side of Black Magic to secure this next round, because it just means that they have the economic advantage. They should be able to take advantage of the better weapons that they're able to afford this time around. And once again, we see Angel run right back into the crosshair of Malvi, unfortunately for her. And this time around, Sirius does have the Marshal in hand, especially since none of the players on the side of Mana Zen, they have any light armor to work with this this Marshall could come really handy, but it seems like she's gonna opt for the Headhunter instead.
Yeah, no real guns to work with for the side of Madness. And Michui does have that Frenzy, which might prove to be important. And yet again, they've opted to go in for that stack towards the A side. And yet again, it doesn't find any value here because everybody just wants to go for the B hit. Movice does take a bit of damage from that fragment being put down. But apart from that, we're looking at a full-on 5v5 retake here. Spectres against Classics and one single Frenzy. Now, though, the Madness players have rotated over here, so at least they can push together and possibly try to make this round as expensive as possible for these Black Magic players right now. Paniax already caught in that Viper Molly, taking so much damage here as she tries to hold on to this angle, and she does manage to do so. It's just going to be Angel finding one pick and eventually going down. So that's just going to be one Spectre jobs, I think, for Movies. Not a bad round altogether for the side of Black Magic because they get the spike plant down, they get all the kills here, so that's going to be ultimates that are farmed up, and they also manage to keep most of their weaponry. So their bonus, they have a good shot at actually making it work.
Yeah, definitely agree with you right there. I mean, I think because Madness Zen, they didn't really have smokes to work with because the toxic screen was placed down towards this A side. It was so hard for them to enter back onto the B side once it was given to Black Magic. And this time around, they are gonna be able to buy up, except for Michui, who's actually opting for a little bit of stinger action this time around.
Yeah, the Stinger, it's either really good or really bad. And, you know, one of the positions that, one of the ways you can really make it work is with the help of a Jet. If you're going to dash into somebody's face with the Stinger, odds are that you are going to get the kill and just instantaneously get that headshot. So it seems like Zedra's going to preemptively put down that particular weapon there. But she gets flashed and she's going to be forced off by Paniax. In fact, going down. So that's going to be one weapon that they are able to pick up and upgrade there already. Michui, with the Stinger, she has to kind of make things work here because again the rotation coming through is going to be very late. Wish as well, she's aware that the flank might be coming through and she's going to be wrapping all the way around here to try and get the kill. Paniax with the second on the round already is going to be going huge, and it's back down to a 3v4. The Stinger is still online here for Michui, but it hasn't done anything so far because it's going to be the instant shutdown coming in, and Black Magic, they convert this bonus, a very, very crucial round for Madness, which they have just lost.
Especially want to bring Black Magic to double digits as well off the back of the entry. Paniax able to find 2 to her name and basically shut down any sort of defense that the side of Madness Zen had to counter the players storming in onto the B side. So this time around, Black Magic gonna be stacking up towards A, but this might be a interesting play coming through for the side of Madness Zen here. Seju gonna be falling to Paniax.
Ooh, they're able to get the heal back. Like you mentioned, that overgrowth proving so crucial here. And 3 players go down already for the side of Madness then. It's just going to be the Chamber trying to Angel, desperately trying to hold on to the site here, but failing because she's going to be forced off the angle here. Does spot out Paniax, but will get wallbanged and taken down. They had 3 ultimates online, but they didn't have to use any of them. So both 1000 Miles and Movays will be able to hold on to those crucial ultimates here. The Seekers as well as this Viper's Pit heading into this particular round where they'll be going up against the full buy coming in. Michui does have her hands on the op, and all the players for the side of Madness then are very, very close to their ultimates as well, Grammy. So this is going to be an interesting round to watch.
A very important round for Madness Zen as well. If they don't want to give up this match point to Black Magic, this is the round that they have to win here because if they do lose this round, they won't have the economy for the next, and that might put them in a very dire situation.
Yeah, this close to match point, you don't want to be in that kind of position. Of course, you can still manage to come back and try to play for overtime, but it's not ideal. It's the last thing you want. So again, it seems like the hit is going to be coming in towards the B side, but this is where that operator is. However, it's going to be spotted out. Michui is going to be flashed, forced back, and desperately trying to stay alive here. She dashes away. They're going to have to give up the side here, and they still have that Viper spin, which is going to be immediately invested to try and make the most out of this round because they have a chance to take it all here, Gravy. They have a chance to take it to match point and take us to map number 2, so they really don't want to give up on that opportunity here.
But the first pick going the way of Madness Zen, though, Angel able to find that pickup onto Wish, good for 2 onto Sirius as well. Numbers advantage in the favor of Madness Zen, but they still have this Viper's Pit to clear. especially with these players, Ziju and Angel is so low, but T doesn't care. She storms onto the side, finds 3 kills, 1, 2, 3, they all fall like flies. And the flawless coming through for Mana Zen to prevent Black Magic from
Flawless.
securing that match point. This was such an important round for Mana Zen to win, and they did so in such a convincing manner. It was a 5v5 retake, and they were able to take out all these players on the side of Black Magic.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible coming in from them. You know, when they went before that retake, I was kind of dubious about it, but the fact is that they managed to get that flawless in place. It's gonna be a huge buff right now to them. They just have to really, get let that confidence sink into them, let that momentum really kick in heading into these next rounds. Because 11-6, it's not ideal, but sure, you can still come back from it. Especially because they're pretty close. If they can win another 2 rounds, that's gonna be the economy broken for the side of Black Magic, and then they're really in for a good shot here. Already you see Sirius trying to push forward, get some mid control, but it's going to be pushed back because of the fact that it hit. The operator is still online for Michuvi as well, who is still holding onto his B side here. And of course, there's an operator on either side, so pushing in for the side of Black Magic during this round is going to be incredibly difficult here because the Tour de Force is online on this A side here.
It seems like they might want to contest this A side though, where Angel, she's gonna be holding down the side. This is gonna be so important for her to find this initial pick, and off the back of that toxic screen, the players of Black Magic, they're gonna be storming onto the side with the tailwind. Unfortunately, a shot for Angel not gonna connect as Malbai takes her out. T is good for the trade though.
Indeed, that's the case. T finally being taken down. There's no more Viper Spit available for the players of Madness here, and how quickly things are falling apart. A 3v4 right now, numerical advantage heavily in favor of the folks from Black Magic as they try to hold on to the site. They also yet again, they're only 2 away from the Seekers, so Mawais might be able to get that online for next round. The clock is still ticking. Wish finding 1. So it's going to be just Ziju left around in this 1v2 situation. She knows the position of one player, has to go in for an awkward reload, gets the headshot, but she knows where Mawais is. She has to clean this up very quickly though because the clock is still ticking, and Mawais, all she has to do is play the timer here, which is exactly what she's doing. She's playing it to perfection. Taps the spike, gets taken down, and that's going to be match point for Black Magic.
Once again, off the back of the tailwind, Malbai able to convert that kill onto Angel. That was so important for the side of Black Magic to be able to secure the side. And as you mentioned, Malvai just played this 1v1 situation perfectly. Ziju had so many areas to look at and so little time to work with, and Malvai, she's just able to convert off the back of that. And not only that, she does have the Seekers at the ready this time. So that's gonna be so important in securing their map point here.
You see Michuvi again with the Blade Storm, though, getting aggressive.
Oh.
This time around, not able to find much value. However, with the help of her teammate, they are able to get these picks. So already 2 players down. That's going to be Mavai's taken down, and the Seekers offline right now. A little bit of unfortunate sprays coming in from the players, from the Viper there, who is going to be immediately punished for it. Just 2 players left. It's all down to just Wish and PannyX if they want to close this out right here. But the numbers advantage, numerically at least, is overwhelmingly in favor of Matt. So the one advantage that they have going in for Black Magic here is that they have spike control, and the B side is relatively empty. Both of these players are playing towards the CT angle here, and Wish has already managed to clear out a lot of space, so they will at least be able to get the spike plant down, but the flank is already on here. Angel making her way backwards all this way to try and be able to take these picks down, but is not able to get the kill. The Hunter Sphere as well, not finding any value. Wish taking out Bichubi is incredible there. It's all down to just one player, PannyX, to try and clutch us out, but Sija is so low. It doesn't matter. T will get that kill, but for a second it looked like there was a possibility of Black Magic being able to close it out. But no, Madness, they stay alive, and they played that 2v1 really well because they double peaked, they swung together, and they didn't let PannyX really isolate those fights.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, Wish and Penny X, they really did what they could there. Unfortunately, the final shot not going to connect for Penny X as T takes her out. I think it was really well played from T, especially because I think she put down the Viper Spit on the A side, and as the players of Black Magic, they were trying to contest it. She held a shorty in that Viper Spit, and the players of Black Magic, they were just in there for a little bit too long. So the shorty, just one pump, was able to take Malvai out. And off the back of that, the Black Magic timeout gonna come through.
A pretty
Right
good
here.
timeout because they only need one more round,
Right
but
here.
there's a possibility of the snowballing like we've seen so many times today,
Right here.
Grammy. You let a team like Madness string together a couple of rounds. There's a possibility that they will have the momentum to take it completely forward. And this is a round where economically at least it's gonna be one of the last full buys that Magic are gonna be able to afford. So they're gonna have to try and make the most of it right now. They do also have a lot of ultimates to work with. They have 4 out of 5. In fact, they have the Seekers, they have the Chord of Force, and of course, just you're looking at the scoreboard, both Mavais and Paniacs are absolutely feeling themselves in this match. 20 and 11, 19 and 10. It's almost like they're having a little contest as to who can get more kills here. Already, you see the Tour de Force being invested right now from Sirius, and that shows that she's extremely serious about this particular round. I'm sorry, that's a bad joke, but I had to make it.
You want to play? Let's
I mean,
play.
as the pinks came through, the Twitter Force gonna be used, Seekers can come through as well, but it's Sirius who finds that first pick, not with the Twitter Force, but with the Vandal instead, as Ziju taken out. Seekers does know that position of Nishui as well, 1,000 miles, good for the second pickup, and once again, side control is gonna go the way of Black Magic 3v5 situation.
Overheat. No, never
Spike
mind. But you
planted.
see the Blade Storm being popped by Paniax right there, who manages to get. He was playing in a very aggressive angle, so she really wants to kill this flank as well. Though this might find incredible value here.
Defeated.
Already finding one, but now they know that there is a player on the flank. Spots out the second, so they know at least where most of these players are playing. They will be able to get the picks here. Wish though is gonna be able to clean this up. It's all down to just Mitsui in a 1v3 right now to keep Madness alive in this one. That recon bolt is gonna catch her, and it's going to be 1,000 miles closing things out with a very stylish wallbang, if I say so myself. And Black Magic, they find the victory which they were seeking. It looked like Madness had a shot of making that comeback, but nope, it's going to be Black Magic taking their map home.
I mean, in a really dominant fashion as well as scoreline might show. I think even though I think Madness stood, they really put up a good fight in the first half. Towards the end, when they got over to the defense, I think they weren't able to find as much success as compared to Black Magic on the defense. Maybe because they didn't really play for those. They didn't really get that much information as compared to how Black Magic was playing in the start on their defense.
That is a great point. Yeah, so they didn't do three things as well. The first thing, like you mentioned, they didn't play information. They didn't get enough information, so they couldn't. They weren't sure exactly where that push was coming in. Like right in that first round, for example, you saw the impatience coming in from the KO player. She put down her 0 point. She tried to push forward, and she immediately got punished for it. So there was not enough information for these players. Secondly, quite often they tended to stack a site, which was not the site which they were really trying to hit. Their attackers were trying to hit. Like you saw, three stack coming in on A side when they were going B so many times, like 2 out of 3 rounds. But anyways, well, before we analyze what exactly went wrong for Madness, let's take a look at the scoreboard to see who the MVP is going to be. I think that it is probably going to be either Paniax or Movice. Yep, it's going to be Movice who takes it home. 20 kills on that Sky. That's kind of impressive coming in for the side of Black Magic there.
2.5 KDA. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. But for the side of Madness, then it is gonna be T who's taking home the team MVP title, though. So really good job to T as well. As I believe, I think we gotta give note to Sirius and her shots, especially on the Twitter Force.
Oh yeah, she was incredible. Like that one round on the defensive half where she got a 3K and completely destroyed any kind of push coming in from Madness. Yeah, Sirius deserves a lot of credit. And I think the last round in particular, it was very nice that she pulls out the turn of force because I think everybody expected her to be playing a bit patiently. They weren't prepared for her just pushing up with a Vandal instead. And kudos to Black Magic. It's clear that they know how to play this map, especially like I was saying before we got the scoreboard. One of the things that Black Magic did right and Madness just couldn't do was during their attack, during Madness's attack, they could not push through any kind of utility. But like for example, the operator, they were punished so many times. But Black Magic, they were able to deal with it with absolute impunity. They just jet smoke, dash in, put down a recon bolt, and they get that kill through the smoke. So you saw that happen at least a few times. And Black Magic, they just seemed like they were better prepared for this particular map. It's one of their stronger maps. They know that Madness has barely played it, and they really capitalize on that to take this map. And looking at the frag wins as well as the objective wins, both of these things, it's going to be Black Magic who do take it. And with that, they win this map in a very convincing fashion.
I definitely agree with you right there. And I think another thing is that they really had a lot of stress coming into this game itself, Black Magic. But we are gonna be heading into a short break before we head over to our map two, which is gonna be on the map of Bind. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
Welcome back, everybody, to the last chance qualifier for APAC Game Changers. I'm Zach, and with me here is Grammy, and we are in our second series for the day, the lower bracket elimination match between Madness Zen and Black Magic. Black Magic already, to recap, Black Magic already did win the first map of Breeze, which was their particular map pick, and now we're gonna be heading into Bind. So, Grammy, how are you feeling today?
I'm super excited because in the previous matchup, I do believe that on the side of Madness Zen, they did show signs of life on their in their first half, but coming over on the defense, they didn't do as well. So coming into Bind, which is their own map pick, their home ground per se, I do think they have to kind of step it up a bit, especially since looking at the statistics, their attacking half is slightly better than the defending half. Like the win rate of the attacking rounds is higher than their defense, and in contrast, Black Magic, they do win more of the defending rounds coming to Bind. So this is gonna be a very interesting matchup uh, for a map to a decider map between whether or not Manus Esports is able to hold on to this game and force a third map.
I agree with you there. I think that's very likely that we're gonna be heading into split because this is one of Madness's stronger maps. Like today, I think that yesterday they did play against Basics. Yes, they lost, but they lost in a very very close manner. It was 13-10 by the end of it, and it seemed like if they could just pull together a few, could have pulled together like two more rounds, it could have very easily gone to overtime. So, I think that is. They are a team to watch out for on this particular map, and this is the same map which again Black Magic lost yesterday against X Team Bow. So this is a map which both of these teams they've lost so far. So they're probably not going to be feeling very good about themselves heading into it. But the thing is, I was going through the agent compositions which they like to run, and they're both very similar. It's just that sometimes, Black Magic likes to get a little bit confident and go in for the double duelist. I think that a lot of the times that they played Bind, they like to go in for both the Reyna and the Raze. Though I think the last time they played, they ended up playing the single duelist comp instead. So I'm excited to see if they are going to be going in for that double duelist comp, and if they do, how it's going to play out on Bind.
I definitely agree with you right there. I mean, Race Pig is already really strong on a map like Bind, where you have all these close corners, close angles to clear out the race with the boombot and the paint shells. She's able to do so really, really well. And off the back of that utility clearing, if you do run Arena, the amount of value that you can get off the back of that, especially with your boombot maybe clearing out one angle, and then you have two players running right in your face, it's gonna be very, very hard to try and fight against that, especially for the side of Madness.
Yeah, you're right about that. The race pick is almost like fixed at this point, but one thing to point out about Madness Zen is that they love running the fade on this particular map, and it goes really well with the race because if you can manage to get that combo right, the Caesar and Paint Shells combo right, it can do so much damage. So they also like to play, as far as I've seen in their last 4 or 5 times that they've played this map, they also like to play without a backstab because they really like to play aggressive. There's always like some person on the lurk, but apart from that, they like to play super aggressive and really get that side fast enough that the flank doesn't really tend to kick in. But they were also punished quite a bit for not having one. They don't have a chamber or a cipher or even a killjoy to really watch that kind of flank. They like to go in for that sage pick instead, which is great on their attacking house because it really, you put down that barrier orb, you get the spike down. After that, you can play post plant. But if you don't manage to penetrate the defenses that fast, well, it's gonna make things very rough for you if you don't have that flank coming in.
You definitely agree right there. Trademark or Alambot for, I think, we don't really see Cypher on Bind right now, especially, and I do think we might see a chamber or a killjoy pick if they were to go for these kind of flank watching agents. But as you mentioned, that sage pick really, really strong as well, because if, as you mentioned, they do have a more aggressive playstyle, and if same with the first map, the sky with that regrowth ability, I think, but this time around on the opposite side of the server is gonna be Madness Esports. If they do go aggressive and they get tagged up, that Sage with the heal, she's just able to bring them back up to where they can go in for another aggressive play maybe on the other side of the map if they do choose to go for a rotate or just continue aggressing and pressuring one side.
Yeah, they like to go in for both of the healers. In fact, both Sky and Sage are favorites of Madness then. So even if you get a bit tagged up, you can play aggressively and get come back and get healed back to 100 HP. So that's great. I think when it comes to controllers for both of these teams, it is going to be Brimstone who has been the choice, which makes perfect sense to me because you have that Stim Beacon, which lets you really push aggressively on that attacking half. You do have that orbital strike, which is so important for clearing out areas like backside on B or U-Hauls on the A side, or just you can use it for playing post plant. You have that Molotov, which you can throw from across the map. Horrible lineups everywhere. We've seen it happen before. You can buy so much time with just that Brimstone utility coming in, and I think both of these teams have they have a lot of practice using it very effectively. So I'm excited to see if that's going to be the case heading into this particular map here. But Madness, then they have a much better track record on this particular map. They've played it more, and it seems like they have had better experience, at least when it comes to winning on it so far. Because I think Black Magic, they haven't had the same amount of luck, I suppose.
I think what would and I'm speaking of agent selects, as our predictions come through, we are going to be heading into their own agent select right now. So we're going to find out just what these players have in store for us here.
Yep, heading into Bind here, we are going to be having our usual scenic shots where we show off how pretty the map is. Uh, anyway, Bind, it's one of my favorite maps. It can be really difficult to play but at this point, I think everybody has had enough practice, so they're quite aware of it. I really wish we'd see a Euro pick coming in because ever since I've seen Forsaken play Euro on this map, I just don't want to see any other duelists. But anyway, like I mentioned, Brimstone, it is going to be the key controller of choice. Immediately locked in, both T and Wish are going to be going in for that pick. The Raze as well coming in, and yep, it is going to be the double duelist combo coming in for Black Magic, who are absolutely filling themselves after that first map. Both Mavais and Panny X, the top two on the scoreboard during Breeze, are going to be taking that Raze and that Reyna combination. And this brings me back, I mean, to PRX days when it's Jing and Forsaken. I'm getting those kind of vibes here.
Would they find the same amount of successes? We shall find out here. I mean, in terms of PRX, their composition is really suited to set up both Forsaken and Jing to go in for plays such as the with a breach or a sky off the back of that. But in terms of agents selections for Black Magic, they are going for a chamber instead, which I do think is a more of an individual kind of agent, like as compared to more of a team playing agent. So we shall have to see if they find the same amount of success here. But on the other side of the server, we are gonna see the fate come through.
I mean, yesterday she had quite a bit. Ziju on that fade had brought a lot of value to the team. He was able to get a lot of information, and they were able to aggress quite a bit. Even though the spike had gone down, they were able to like really fight for map control with the help of the fade utility. Putting those prowlers down, being able to buy more time, and even the C's coming through was pretty huge there. So Ziju is somebody to really watch out for. T on that Brimstone as well. It seems to be the agent that she was incredibly comfortable on yesterday during that first map. And yes, everybody who's watching, make sure you get yourself a snack, milk and banana. I don't know if that's exactly what you want, but yes, get yourself a snack because this is just likely that this is gonna be shaping up to be a banger of a match here. Because Madness, well, if they lose this, they're gonna be out of this tournament. That's their chances for game changers done for this entire year. And well, Black Magic, they're only one win away from making that the case here already. You can see the aggression coming through as Sirius will be spotting out the shoulder of Angel there, tries to hit the headshot but will not be connecting. And Angel, well, she decides she's gonna be able to keep her life and her armor. In the meantime, though, the push is coming towards B here. Angel calling for backup, and everybody else is going to be aggressing there instead. So they're going to be falling back and playing a little bit more patiently, I suppose, off the back of the information that they've gained so far.
And right now, I do think Malvai, she's gonna be playing back a little bit as compared to her position in the start of the round. So the Trailblazer is gonna come out from the side of Madness Zen to try and clear out these corners. Boombot comes through for Black Magic, but the paint shot is gonna cause a little bit of chip damage onto Malvai as the players storm on towards this B site.
They will be able to get the plant down yet again. We're in that situation which we seem to be in so often today, these 5v5 scenarios. The Pain Shell is not really doing much damage because it's going to be the full HP coming back, and Sirius is going to be the person to get the first pick, but immediately gets traded out. The retake is on right now. The crossfire between Michui and T is going to prove to be pivotal here as they try to go forward. Paniax, though, she's going to be able to get that kill immediately dismissed, so she keeps her life. In the meantime, Wish finding so much value here. T as well, finally being able to take down Paniax. The spike is tapped. The haunt comes through. It's all down to just one player right now. Muvai is trying to stick the spike. Does have half of it down already, but she's not going to be looking in the right place at the right time. And Ziju is going to be able to close the round out for Madness 1-0. But that was too close, Kirby.
That was really close indeed. And the players of Madness, they forgot that Sirius was still in hookah. Even though Angel, I believe, she spotted her, she spotted Sirius out at the start of the round, and the sky smokes kind of came down for the side of Madden's Zen to try and close off the angle. They weren't really aware that Sirius was still playing there, and off the back of that, she was able to convert one kill, but unfortunately for her, that was all she could find. And coming into the second round, the side of Madness Zen, they're gonna be able to buy up Spectres and a judge on Michui as well.
Yep, that is the case, and with this upgraded buy, they are poised to push towards this A site instead. It seems like that's where they want to go. They have to be careful though, because look at that U-Haul angle. Two shorties lying in wait for them. If they don't clear this out, they're gonna be in lots of trouble. Michui pushing her way with the judge. Shotgun versus shotgun. It's gonna be Michui who manages to take down both of them. In fact, with just 2 shots coming in, that is absolutely huge right now, and they're gonna have the side control, being able to get the spike down. That's going to be just 3 players left for the side of Black Magic. You can see 100 Miles pushing out, but will she clear this corner? That is going to be the question. She does, but it doesn't matter because Ziju has the better gun. Just 2 players left, Sirius and Movais. Movais with the shorty, in fact, so she's gonna be very difficult for her to really find value here. As it's gonna be Michui who gets 4 off the round and is very close to having that showstopper online heading into the next one, because this round is gonna be flawless for Madness right now.
Not only is Michui close to the showstopper, I believe T is close to the orbital strike as well. I think she's been farming those ultimate orbs with the spike plant as well as the orbs from B Long, and she's just 2 away from the orbital strike, which can be so important in securing these post plant situations or even clearing out corners.
I agree with you right there, and with the full buy finally coming in for Black Magic, they have to really try and deal with the aggression that the players from Madness are showing, and they do just that because Paniax gets that first clean headshot, 3 in fact on the round already. How did that happen? As the push from Madness completely falls apart, they're stopped in their tracks quite literally, because if they try to push through the smoke, guess what? Paniax is lying in wait. She wants his age, she's hungry for these kills, and she's gonna be doing everything she can to get it. In the meantime, though, Angel is just going to be going forward, checking if anybody's going to be flanking. Sirius has pushed up all this way, in fact, but she's not going to be getting greedy for these picks here. They know that they're in a bad spot. They have to try and wait for a mistake coming in from Black Magic before they can really try to make this round work in their favor. But so far, Grammy, I don't think it's going to be happening.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. I don't think Black Magic really want to give up any of their weaponry to the side of Madness Zen, because if they do, they don't really have the economy to buy up the same weapon if they lose it. So they're not really gonna give anything to the side of Madness here. We see Zeju just kind of going for Jago Pigs here, but she's gonna get taken out by Penny X. Angel gonna run right into the crosshair of Sirius, and it's a flawless round coming out from Black Magic.
I feel kind of bad for Patty X. No ace. It's going to be completely denied for her. But the flawless rounds should be some consolation, at least for these players, as they get their first round on the board. And that was incredibly clean coming in from Patty X. 4 kills on the round. Barely any damage taken. I think she took like 1 bullet from somebody. 1 stray bullet up. She was very healthy by the end of it. And off the back of that, it is going to be the full buy kicking it for both of these teams right now. Black Magic keeping all their guns, and Madness finally being able to afford it. Like you mentioned, Grimmy, they have a lot of ultimates that they can really use here. Michui and T are both just 1 away respectively from that showstopper and that orbital strike, and I think that Ziju also, if she can get a couple of kills, she might be able to have that Nightfall online. So a lot of ultimates that they'll be able to work with already. You can see the Altor being farmed by the Sky, in fact, is an interesting choice because Michuli is right there. I think she's very confident in her ability to get those kills and is banking on that as opposed to just getting the orb and getting that ult in line. You also do see some B long control being contested at the very least by Ziju here with the Prowler, who does manage to clear out at least the left side corner, but it's still going to be Sirius who's holding that angle nevertheless, who doesn't get pushed off. Never mind. As I said, she gets pushed off.
That's two Prowlers already invested, and no, none of them can be used to be getting onto the side. The trademark gonna be cleared out as well as the hunt comes through. The location of Wish has been noted. Ziju spraying through the smoke just barely misses the head of Wish right there, but the spike is gonna be making its way back over to the A side, where actually three players of Black Magic are lying in wait.
Yeah, no rotation coming in, and they're gonna hear the teleporter sound as well towards coming in from B, and already Panic strikes yet again. Mobiles with the backup as well. The utility being dumped towards A short is too much for the players from the side of Madness to really contest here. They're gonna have to push forward with only 18 seconds left on the clock. Vichui does manage to find some damage, get that showstopper online, and suddenly things swing around back in the favor of these players here from the side of Madness. The showstopper still online, not gonna find value, but nevertheless the kill will be found by Mitsubi, and suddenly things fall apart right now. It's all down to just Witch in a 1v1 situation. He does manage to pick up that rifle instead. Pulls down the stim beacon, but it's gonna be caught in the open, and Ziju swings at the right time. That would have been such a clutch right there for Wish if she'd managed to pull it off, Grammy. Oh lord.
Yeah, I was really wondering if the players of Manuzan, they really noted the flank position coming in from Wish, and they didn't really, even though Wish got the first pick, Michui wasn't able to connect her shots there, and it really came down to the wire for Ziju to close this round out. But off the back of that, they do have both the Nightfall and the Obelisk Strike at the ready, and even Ziska, she's one away from the Seekers.
Yeah, so many ultimates for both of these teams online, and yet again it's going to be the full buy available right now for the side of Black Magic, but this is going to be the last round where they can really afford it, so they really have to try and capitalize on it to take it forward. Already see the aggression coming through from Movice, who manages to get a pick for a trouble, as that's going to be the Orbital Strike online here, and the only ultimate that's nowhere close to being ready is unfortunately Angel's Resurrection, so no more T for the rest of this round at the very least. In the meantime though, the rest of the players from the side of Madness, they're going to be waiting for a mistake. But now that first spec has already gone in the favor of Black Magic, they are very happy to just wait and hold the positions from back. All they need to do is really stop the spike from going down, or even just play for the retake because they have the numbers advantage right now.
Prowler gonna come through from the side of Madness to try and create some space, forces Malvai back off this garden angle. Seeker's gonna come through as well, holding down the place, the location of Sirius. Nightfall come through. Sirius stays alive with just one health. Malvai good for one of the paint shells, and the showstopper come through as well. The spike plant is gonna go down on this B side, but numbers advantage is very much in the favor of Black Magic. 3 versus 5 as 1,000 Miles and Baovai both find picks of their own. It's all up to Michui coming in from this flank. But I think she's just gonna try and get some exit frags here.
Yep, that's the case, and I think Michui might just choose to save because the economy is not really ideal right now for Madness, and they should try to hold on to every single bit of their guns that they can. At least that spike plan coming through is going to give them a little bit more money to work with, but apart from that, not much that's really going in their favor. They do have the orbital strike from T and that hero rifle in Michui, but apart from that, not many advantages left for the players from Madness. In the meantime though, both I think 2 ults are ready and 2 more are pretty close for the side of Black Magic. So this is a round that, unless they make a lot of overwhelming mistakes, which you see quite happen quite often in these Swifty rounds, it is another round that is at least geared in their favor.
Definitely favored to tie up the skull line right here. And it seems like on the side of Black Magic, they're playing their defense so patiently. They're not really pushing out on their defensive side. And I think it's really paying dividends for them because it means that there's much less of a chance for them to make a mistake, especially by how Malvai and Penny X are holding down their angles. All they have to do is wait for the players of Madness Esports to walk into their crosshair, and 1-2-3 they just did, especially since what we saw Penny X do in one of the previous rounds.
Yeah, it was the bonus for them, and she just mowed them down with that Vandal towards short. And it seems like they really don't want to repeat of that because that's why they're gonna be going in for this B push instead. By the looks of it, they are standing outside hookah with the spike, and Sirius is gonna be able to spot these players. So at least that's some information that they have on board here. The Sova util as well spotting out yet another, so they know there are at least 3 or 4
30
players
seconds
towards this
left.
B side. 30 seconds left though. They have to be going in somewhere, and it seems like it was all a fake. They're gonna be heading back towards the A side instead. But unfortunately for them, Patty X, she hasn't moved in. She's still gonna be playing the same angle as she has the same antics coming through. And oh no, with 15 seconds left on the clock, it seems like they want to go in for B now. These last minute rotations are giving me a heart attack,
10
but
seconds
I don't
left.
think it's really going to work out because with 10 seconds left on the spike, they have to not only get onto site and plant it somehow, they also have to really deal with the crossfires that these players are holding, and they're just not able to do that because both Mobiles and Sirius lock down the B side, and they not only does the spike not go down, they also don't get they don't drop a single player here, Grivy.
Yeah, flawless round coming through for the side of Black Magic. I think is really to do with how they're playing their defense. They're playing very disciplined. They don't over rotate once they see like a player outside of B or outside of A. They don't call like, oh, there's players here, come here now. Instead, what they do is they hold their ground. We see 3 players on A, 2 players on B, which are the chamber and the race, and they're positioned in such a way that the crossfire is so hard for Madness to kind of push back in. And Black Magic, they're gonna actually take a timeout here.
I mean, it's a pretty good call because they have the advantage right now. They do want to figure out how they can keep winning these rounds. I mean, I think at this point, because they have so many ultimates available, they just want to try and take a pause and figure out how exactly they want to play this. Because so far, they've been running like a 3 stack towards A and just 2 players towards B instead. And they realize perhaps that they might want to make some changes in their comp and they might be acting on that instead. But nope, I think they're just going to stick to the 3-person A, 2-person B, which is working out quite fine because the players from the side of Vadis are just not able to break through this defense which Sirius and Movice have put up so far together.
Twitter is going to be popped by Sirius here, the boom bot, to try and force her off of this angle. Trailblazer come through as well, force Malvai back. It seems like this time around, Madness, they want to go in aggressive.
Satchel out.
They do. Mobile has already been rewarded so much by being able to find those picks when she gets aggressive. This time around, though, it's going to be the operator that sings, the Tour de Force that sings first here. Already taking down Angels. That's going to be no more healing available. But oh, the satchel shot from Bichui is absolutely insane as she managed to get that Tour de Force offline. With that, the site is a bit more open. Elbow control is still in the hands of the defense here. But apart from that, the spike has gone down and the retake situation is on. Ziju as well will be able to take Paniex with that beautiful lurk coming in and pick up that upgraded weapon. So now they have to worry about the possibility of a lurk on this A site while they try to go for the B push instead. Wish though, she's gonna shut that on pretty quick with that orbital strike. Tries to TP, but Michui is ready for it. Second on the round already. Shots hitting so crisply right now, and both Mobiles and 1,000 Miles, well, they have quite a bit of thinking to do here to see how they can do it. You see Mobiles somehow getting 2 there. It's all down to just Michui, the hero of the round so far already. Has a lot more work to do. Gets the first headshot. No. Can she connect the second is the question. And yep, she does. 4 on the round for Michui as she keeps Madness live in this. And what a round coming in from them off the back of that 4K.
That was an insane first shot by Michui off the back of the satchel peak, and she manages to even catch up a few players in the form of the Brimstone, especially when she was trying to go in for this TP, and the spray control coming through as well. And there's gonna be a timeout call this time around for Madness, I believe.
Yeah, it's a timeout that they really desperately need because
don't overheat.
Yeah, don't overheat, exactly. Michui almost overheated that round, but she was on point there. She was the hero that Madness so desperately needed so far, and she steps up huge. And off the back of that, she almost has a showstopper again, I think.
Yeah, just one off the showstopper, and a couple of these players actually pretty close to the ultimates as well. We see the Seeker is almost available as direction. All the other side though, Malvai, Penny Axe, and Wish all still have their ultimates at the ready. So they might look to play a retake this time around, especially with the Showstopper and Orbital Strike.
Yeah, they have a lot of ults that are very, very close to fruition, like you mentioned. So getting into side is not exactly going to be a huge issue. But Black Magic, they've been holding on to their ult for a while as well. And Sirius, well, she's going to be investing in the operator this time around. You already saw the value that she could bring with the Tour de Force. I mean, if Michui hadn't been able to hit that insane shot, I think that the B side would have still been locked down. This time around, though, they do realize that the B side is a little bit weaker, and they've reinforced it with the help of the Reyna. Pani X has made her way over towards this particular side of the map instead, so that might prove to be very instrumental heading in. Mova is jiggling the angle, will be spotting out both of these players and throwing those paint shells down as they try to hold on here. I don't think they know Pani X is here right now.
Seeker is going to come through for the side of Manus as they make their way all to the side. It's Dalton Mouse who finds the first pick, but Angel is right there for the trade. Showstopper would be used by Malvi. Unfortunately for her, does not connect onto anyone at all. And the players of Manus, they're actually going to go aggressive here. Orbital Strike committed as well. These guys good for one, but Wish trades it right back with that Orbital Strike. This Barrier Orb is so good to deny so much time come in from the side of Black Magic, though, and sees as well to try and deny Penny X from advancing even more onto the side.
Yeah, but the Empress is going to be popped, and Pani X, well, we've seen the kind of momentum she can bring and run away with already. The spike defuse is being stuck right now. She doesn't fake, and she gets the defuse. Nevertheless, in a 3v3 situation, they also manage to still hold on to the operator. No, they lose the operator. It doesn't matter, though, because the round still goes in their favor, and now I don't think Madness just expected, Wish to just stick the spike like that. Nobody expected it. We didn't either, to be fair, so that was a phenomenal play coming in for them. Man, that is insane.
It's absolutely huge coming in for Wish right there. She's been so instrumental in trying to clutch out these close rounds. And there was one round where she was super close to clutching it out down to the 1v1 as well. And this round she does not care. She just sticks it. Absolutely. But this time around, Madness, they do have 4 ultimates to play with. Sirius still able to have an operator in her hands though.
I see. Now, though, the C's is going to connect there, and the Showstopper is going to keep her. She misses the shot, and yep, that's going to be good night to Sirius, who goes down there. With that, the side has yet again been taken. They haven't cleared Movice out really in this long angle, though. I don't think they really want to risk it, though. The gun is going to give away the position, and off the back of that boom bout, she's in a desperate battle to try and stay alive, and she fails because Angel takes her down. Just 3 players left for the side of Black Magic here, desperately trying to go forward. The Orbital Strike being invested as well. Pani X and 1000 Miles, so they are shredding through the players from Madness here. The position of Zijo given away as well, and all she has to work with is a classic. Pani X is gonna put a stop to that immediately, and what looked like a round that was completely impossible for the side of Black Magic, well, they pull it back together, and they also managed to retrieve that operator, so that's a huge W coming in for them.
Definitely agree with you right there, especially since they've invested like 3 ultimates into this round, and Nightfall, the Orbital Strike as well as the Showstopper. It's very unfortunate that Madness and they weren't able to convert that round, but this time around they do have that Resurrection at the ready. On the other side though, 1000 Miles, Hunter's Fury to deny any sort of plant or try and cause some chaos onto the side to try and go in for this retake situation. Malvi does have a judge in hand though, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it could go really well or really bad in the case here. Already you see Sirius being forced off this particular angle with the operator. If she's not careful, she gets that shot, but oh no, she TPs away, but it connects a little bit too late. It's gonna be Pani X who has to try and hold onto the side here. She does spot out a player, but she will be forced back because she gets detected by that Fade utility. The spike though, it's still gonna be dropped here, so they're gonna have to make a little bit of a trip back to get it. No harm done, because the smokes are still there. They're still gonna be able to get into side and get the plant down, but that's a lot of time that has been successfully bought, and I think that's gonna cause some questioning when it comes to where exactly these players are playing. Oh, the Hunter's Fury huge here, connecting with 2 players already, finding Michui and weakening up Sija as well. It's gonna be the rotation being triggered, and the A side is free, but the rotation is coming right back. You can see all of them funneling through that CT area here already. Movice with the pain shells doing a little bit of damage as she makes her way forward and takes UL control forward with the judge finding the pick onto Ziju. Just 2 players left
remaining.
right now. Make that one. It's all down to just the Sky. 26 HP left on her. And I think she's just going to choose to save this gun.
30 seconds left.
There was so much action happening in the span of like a minute. My eyes are trying to keep up right now. I mean, I do think it was unfortunate that Sirius shot actually connected onto Angel, because that just took the resurrection out of the picture, and off the back of that, they weren't able to bring anyone back
10
to life.
seconds left.
Had the shot connected onto T instead, they might still have had a chance in this round, especially since Angel, she did have the resurrection at the ready. So kind of unfortunate for Madness Esports right there. So Black Magic gonna take 6 points on the board already.
6-4 right now, and things are slowly falling apart for Madness here. They lost a round where they invested 3 ultimates in. They lost their full buy, and in these last 2 rounds, they have to decide whether they want to force in right now, or really just save up for the last round in the half, which is what they seem to be opted doing. They have that one rifle which was saved, but apart from that, it's just going to be Spectres and Stingers. On the opposite side, though, it is going to be the Operator as well as rifles all across the board here. Again, Movies and Pani X, both of them going so huge. That double duelist combo working out really well. Again, you can see them getting a little bit aggressive towards long as Movies is trying to farm that Raze ult back up by the second half here, going for that orb. This time around, the Operator is going to be positioned towards A short, and it might be a really great call because it seems like A is going to be where the hit is coming. You can see the Sky trying to farm those Seekers back up in time for the next round, but Wish immediately shuts that down. So that's going to be the first pick yet again, going towards Black Magic here.
This is definitely a very difficult situation for Madness Zen right now, because if they do choose to execute onto this A side, there are 3 players lying in wait for them. So I do think they have to kind of regroup up, and off the back of that Prowler, it's going to force Malvai back off his angle, but she's just going to be positioned in a really aggressive angle, playing the Jiggle Peak game. Pain Shells to come through to try and cause some chip damage as well, and a wall bang onto Ziju. Connects.
It does seem like the push is going back towards the B side because they feel very shut down towards A instead. But yet again, Black Magic are so good at running this clock down. So often Madness are left in these desperate situations with only like 30 seconds left on the clock where they have to go forward or pay for it. And the spike does at least go down, so that's going to be a bit more money in the bank. You can see Movies going forward here as the reset situation is on. It's a 3v4 right now. Sirius trying to spam some shots here. Oh no, caught with the molly in hand. Michui, though, she's still holding strong as she can. 4 kills on the round. She got 4 the last time around. She's going to get the ace this time, and that's going to be the round that Madness desperately needed to get back onto top. Michui proving to be the hero the second time during this half. And what a play, what a phenomenal. How did she get 3 kills there? I'm speechless.
It seems like third time's the charm. She did get 2 4Ks previously, and it's this time around she got the ace. Really well played, and she's just once again one of the showstopper, which can be so instrumental in securing this final half here.
17-7. Wow. I know Movies, both the races are performing really well, but Michui after that round, she's just on a whole other level. This time, it seems like the A hit is coming through, and they really want this Altor because, like you mentioned, Grammy, that showstopper can prove to be very important. However, Michui, she's not going to be taking it. She's going to be letting the Sky get it instead. And this is the second time where the same outcome is happening as they try to go forward into this A side. A bit of a default coming through as they wait for the aggression from the players from Black Magic. You do see 1,000 Miles pushed up all the way up long. Zichu seems like she might be aware of it, which is why she's going to be holding here, waiting for the flank to come through. But I think the push is still going to be heading towards the A side.
A side is definitely where Madness have the numbers advantage if they choose to execute right now. Just 2 players left on the side, but reinforcements seem to be coming in the form of Penny X here.
Yeah, she's rotated over, so they're gonna have to get through all 3 of these players on this particular site here before they can get the plant down, or it might be that maybe Black Magic just want to play for the retake already. The Orbital Strike being committed, that's going to be the flash, finding 2 kills, the utility usage, the combo impeccable right now as Wish gets 2 picks off the back of that flash here. The Resurrection, though, that's finally going to come through as Angel gets that pick. The Boombot, though, doing quite a bit of damage to three of these players before the spike goes down. So the spike gets tapped. Angel does manage to get it down, but she's going to be forced off of it, I think, because immediately she hears a lot of pandemonium coming in from both sides. So the flank is on as well. 1,000 Miles pushing up all the way from B, finding so much value. Patty X getting the last kill as well. And what looked like a round that could have very easily, gone in the favor of Matt, it immediately switched back over. And all of that is off the back of Wish is beautiful out there.
I definitely agree with you, especially with that flash coming through. It just completely blinded the players coming in from Madison, and I don't really think they were aware they were caught in that ultimate as well.
It was really unfortunate because the ult coming through is one thing, but that guiding light, it just changed the momentum of it because they heard the orbital strike, but if you're gonna be blinded, you're not gonna be able to see anything. And the fact that she was able to get two there was just insane. And of course, the utility from Mobiles yet again, the paint shells, the boom bot as well. I think it hit 3 people this time because the resurrection came through right as she let it go. Beautiful round, and of course the flank coming in at the perfect time. 1,000 Miles had the best timing on that lurk here. She was able to really get 2 of those picks and just a flawless round for the side of Black Magic here. And they do have a slight lead. It is going to be a 7-5 half. And the thing is, they already have the one map advantage. So it's going to be instrumental for Madness to really win the pistol heading forward. And like you mentioned on the onset of the series, Grimmy, you did say that they have much more success during their attacking half than their defense. Well, if that's the case, they're going to have to really, get their mental together to try and make the comeback here.
I mean, if Mitsui can pull off the magic that she did on her attacking half, then I definitely do think they have a chance in coming back into the series.
Yeah, Mitsui is the reason why they're at a score of 7-5 and not 9-3. Because 2 rounds is entirely her clutching things out. Her getting the ace, her getting the 4K and closing out that 1v2. She's been so instrumental right now for the side of Madness 10. It seems like bind and raise is one of her favorite things to play. She was really insane yesterday as well. And today she just realizes that the situation that the team is in, they need to win this map in order to take this to split. Otherwise, it's just going to be goodbye for them from this tournament.
I definitely agree with you right there, but they might have their work cut out for them coming into the defensive half, because I do think they haven't found as much value in their defensive half as compared to the attacking half. So I think it might come down to how well they can utilize their utility and positioning to try and gather enough information to where the players of Black Magic might be heading, and just try to play off of that information, especially since they do have a double initiator lineup in the form of a Fade and a Sky.
Yeah, you're completely right there. So I think one more thing to note is that it's going to be Black Magic who are on the attacking half now, and they have a double duelist combo. So if Pani X and Moboys play the way they've been playing today, they're just going to be able to cut through the opposition like butter if they really put their minds to it. And it seems like on the onset of this round, they're going to be content to play a little bit slow. They do want to go towards their A side. They're slowly gaining control of a lot of areas on it. Mitsui, though, she's going to be here to try and stop them. Though both these players are going to be spotted out. Both T and Mitsui are spotted out here. Unfortunately for T, she's going to get a shorty to the face, and off the back of that, the A side is completely open right now. All 3 players slowly rotating over, 2 in fact on the flank, who are going to be spotted out by that trademark. So they know that there is a flank coming in, and they are going to be ready for it. Again, the position coming in from Mobiles here with the shorty is going to find so much value. 2 on the round already. There's gonna be Pani X going down, so that at least that's 1 kill that they're getting in their favor. The Haunt not finding much value yet again.
No.
The shorty is here. This time around, though, it gets shut down by Ziju. Things back down to a 2v3, and it's not an impossible task, but the clock is still ticking, so they're gonna have to be fast about it. And look at the spike plant; it's in such an awkward spot here.
With just
Oh,
too
no.
many angles to look at, Ziju has a work cut out for her. She's unable to find anything at all. Wish picks up 3 in a round to bring Black Magic to 8. They do win out this pistol round, so they are going to be able to buy up the next. Look at this paint,
no.
this shorty action once again. 2 kills here. I think she almost got the 3rd, but Ziju was just quicker. And yeah, but the positioning of the spike plant, it was just so in favor of Black Magic that they were able to convert off the back of that.
Yeah, I like the confidence that they had. They managed to push all the way up to backside, even through the smoke. And once they had the intercept, they were like, yeah, we're just going to plant something open. It's okay. Life is good. Right now, though, it is going to be the Eco. 3 shorties, in fact, for the side of Madness here. So they're going to have to be very careful when they're trying to push into either Hookah or U-Haul because, well, those are weapons that you saw the damage it could have the last time around. It does seem like, yet again, the patience from Black Magic is nevertheless going to be there. This time around, T with the shorty is going to be holding down the U-Haul instead. The paint shows are going to be falling right on her. She does manage to get away without taking much damage, but she tries to push forward, misses the shot, does some damage at the very least, but that's going to be it right now. The shorty still finding value as Machawi gets one. The trades are quick though, and all the way, and Wish comes all the way around, able to really get these picks here. The flank is on. The last player right now is going to be Ziju, who finds one with the classic, but that's going to be it. 3 players go down, and I'm sorry, 2 players go down, but they still managed to save those Spectres because Sirius, I think she only had a Ghost and she was able to pick up one of the Spectres, so they really only lose 1 gun there.
Yeah, and off the back of that round, Wish already has the orbital strike at the ready.
Wow. That is fast.
That's incredibly fast, and that might be the win condition if they're able to get the spike plant down, and they're able to play the post plant to deny the defuse to come through from the side of Madness Zen. Then they could very easily win this bonus. Well, maybe not easily, but
a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you do it, especially during these bonus rounds. No matter how dirty it gets, there's still a possibility of it going through. You do see already Ziju being caught on the angle, does have the haunt ready, and she's willing to play with fire here and play aggressively despite being tagged out. She's not gonna be falling back quite yet. Already though, the Boombot is going to be connecting, doing quite a bit of damage here, or a little bit of damage here to Movice, who will be losing most of her armor. In the meantime, though, they are going to be waiting for possible picks coming through because every round so far, if you remember, the people from B have been running over towards A. They're waiting for something similar to happen, but with the better weapons in the hands of Madness, they don't want to risk really dropping these to the Black Magic players. It is going to be the push towards his A side coming through already. You do see the Satchel coming in. Getting the second as well through the blind, but that's going to be all they find. That's 2 rifles that they can pick up here. And Angel, she's going to be forced back. So it's back down to a 3v3. Already the economic damage is so heavy, but Wish is still alive. And like you mentioned, Grammy, she still has that orbital strike available if she chooses to use it. I think she's already considering it right now. And these players, they're going to be happy to just play for the post plant here heading into this particular retake. You all has to be cleared out first. Already you see 1,000 Miles getting that headshot out to Angel. The trade does come through, but it's still going to be a 2v2 here. I don't know if playing on the side is the best idea. Wish already finding one though. It's all down to the Ziju, but because she's so low, she's not going to be able to find anything. And just like that, the bonus slides into the hands of Black Magic, who are on a roll here. They look unstoppable.
Was an insane round coming in from Black Magic right there, and they managed to save the orbital strike as well. So that's gonna be very, very useful when coming into this next round, especially when I do think maybe Black Magic they do have quite a number of ultimates being built up right now, especially Penny X just one away from the Empress. But on the other side, Manas, who are actually taking a timeout right now, Nightfall and Seekers both at the ready, and Michui again with the Stinger. She hasn't found much value of a Stinger, but she might look to make magic happen this time around after this timeout.
I mean, she's already done it twice, so I wouldn't put it past her. They do have, like you mentioned, the Nightfall already, but I don't know if they're really going to be investing it because it is a thrifty round. And the timeout it's a very interesting time to take a timeout. I think more than them making a battle plan, it's just to prevent the momentum, which is slowly snowballing for Black Magic to really kick in here. It's just a desperate last-ditch attempt at that instead because we're looking at a possible 11-5 here unless somehow Madness managed to close out this thrifty. Looking at the ultimate management for the side of Black Magic, they already have the Orbital Strike, which they've had since round number 2. They're also just 2 away from that Hunter's Fury. So if they can get an orb and get a plant by the Sova, that's going to be the second major ult where if they can get the spike, it's going to just be post plant coming through. Michui has switched over from the Stinger to the shotgun instead. A complete push coming in down towards this area here. Short, the Prowler chasing down Pani X, who does manage to get away, and they know at this point that all of these players are coming in. Sirius already picking out one. The flank is on, and they're just gonna be trying to get into the B side to get the spike down. It is gonna be going down, in fact, and there's nobody in hookah, so Michui is not gonna be able to find any value either. This headlong rush down short, not really finding anything so far. As Sirius, well, she takes the TP, and that's just gonna be bait right now for the rest of her team to really corner these players towards the hookah here.
I have no clue who is on the attack and who's on defense because it seems like Madness they just W gaming their way towards hookah right now. The Albert strike gonna come through. Sirius able to capitalize off of that confusion caused, but Angel fires right back with the Sheriff. But what more can you do? Just 2v4 situation right now. Stinger and Vandal in hand, and the time is running low.
Yeah, there's no time, and it's just going to be Angel really, really low here, who also gets taken down. An almost flawless round yet again. And I really like that play coming in from Sirius, who takes the TP, knows that there are people waiting outside hookah for her. Immediately, the orbital strike gets popped, and she's able to capitalize off that pandemonium and get that one kill. So Sirius was huge here, not only getting that first pick, but also just keeping all of these three players watching here instead of, actually pushing onto site. So much time being bought by that one play. I know it was an eco round, nevertheless, though, you see Nico rounds getting converted quite often into thrifty. So that is going to be round number 11 heading in for Black Magic, and this is Madness's last chance to really stop the bleeding here. They are going to be able to have a full buy of a sword. Michui yet again forced to play with the judge, but really you can't knock the judge. So off the back of the information coming in that there are multiple players towards this angle, they are going to wall it off right off the bat. So that is something that at least buys a bit of time, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough because look at the position of the rest of the team.
The C's gonna come through to try and catch these players off guard, but Wish is just holding this close angle, peeks into Ziju. First pick going the way of Black Magic. Second one as well as Sirius takes Angel out, and that's basically the site opened up. Michui still has a judge in hand. Almost gets taken out by 1,000 miles right there, but the judge is still superior in these close angles, and she's able to get that weapon upgrade. The Vandal in her hands as well. Sirius though, good for another pick. He tries to fire back, but Wish is good for the trade. All up to Michui.
A 1v3, and she's not gonna even be able to find one as Wish shuts her down. Already halfway there to the orbital strike. More than that, in fact. We might even see it come up again. And right now, it just seems like Black Magic are unstoppable. They are very, very capable and very close to taking the series 2-0 here, just one more round away. And we talked about the impact that this double duelist comp can have on this attacking half, but it's just Wish who is just phenomenal with those trades, with that utility uses. She's just helping them W key their way onto site here after a little bit of defaulting. So yet again, it seems like the A side is going to be the target. There is the Tour de Force available on top of everything else. That's just insult to injury at this point for the side of Black Magic, and they want this A side. They're hungry for this win here, Grammy.
I will do to try and clear out these close corners. I'm not sure if that's what allowed Ziju, but the C's is going to give away her location. Does catch Sirius in the mix though, but Spike and the whole of Black Magic, they're going to be regrouping up towards this A side, ready for this push. Ziju has the opportunity to make a play here with this Nightfall though.
She does indeed, but is she aware of the possibility? That's going to be the question. At least the rotations have come through, so you do have 4 players ready to keep Black Magic from getting the spike down and planting it, but that's going to be the push coming through. You do already hear the raid out being popped as well, so the Empress on top of everything else, they have made their way onto site. UL control, though, it's still not in their grasp, so that is the one thing that is going in the favor of Black Magic right now. 3 players towards this UL angle. They're going to be waiting it out before pushing through, and it seems like the possibility is that where the Nightfall being invested is going to give away information as to the location of these players, but the crossfire is too good. Malvice already getting 3, has a showstopper online as well as all down to Michui here. She was the hero for the side of Madness so many times, but I don't know if she can do it again because she has so much to deal with. All of these ults, all of these players ready to take her out. The damage from the showstopper on top of everything else, and it's going to be Movice the same, who says, Razif, this is ending right here. We're going to be taking it 2-0, 13-5 for Black Magic, and a dominating performance coming in from them.
What a showing coming in from Black Magic, especially on second half. I didn't expect them to be that strong on their attack, but it seems like on for Madness they were just unable to handle the aggression that was coming in with this double duelist composition with the Raze and Reyna.
Yeah, like it was very simple, especially their attacks on the A side. It was absolutely beautiful. They know that the crossfire likes to be held between that cubby area as well as that U-Haul. So what they do is they throw out a recon both, see if anybody's playing close. If they're not, they're just gonna be pushing in. The Lear as well as the Satchel plays so many times working out in their favor. And the thing is, it's not just their duelists pushing, right? They also have Wish as well as 100 Miles coming in right behind them. Sirius sometimes on the lurk, sometimes on the opposite side of the map, but nevertheless, at least 3 or 4 players push together. And after getting those first picks, even if the trades come through, they were able to balance it out so that the skills remained in their favor. And I also liked how they went. Both of these teams, they really went in for that ultimate orb management. Every single time they were on the attack, they were just farming nonstop, especially towards that A showers angle. Every single round, I think Wish managed to get her hands on that orb there.
Yeah, and that really came in handy, especially how she got her orbital strike in the third round in the second half. That was absolutely insane. I do think that was off of the back of 2 3 Ks and the spike plant, but nevertheless, a phenomenal effort for the whole of Black Magic right there to try to be able to fight their way back into these brackets that we have today. Really well played to them, and kudos to Mana Zen for trying the best as well. Michui put up a phenomenal performance, especially on this map of Bind.
Yeah, Mitsui was a player to watch out for, and she definitely proved why that's the case. But unfortunately for Madness, then it's not going to be enough because they have been eliminated from the LCQ, and that's the end of their chances to make it to Elite. That's going to be it for them. But before we sign off for today, let's just take a look at the scoreboard for this particular map because I want to see who the MVP was for each of these teams. I know it's probably going to be Wish and Mitsui, but it's always nice to know for sure. So let's take a look.
It's Mauvai. Oh, both the Rays are the MVPs. Okay, this is. Michui has a 326 combat score. Okay, this is insane.
It's a bit sad that the score is 5-13 because if you are the match MVP, you expect it at least to be a little bit closer. But unfortunately for Michuvi, I think the team play for the side of Black Magic was just so much stronger than what Madness then could really pull together, and that is really what's gonna propel them further into the lower bracket. Moving forward, they did their best. Like Madness, and they deserve some credit because they did their best and they did all they could. In fact, Breeze was much closer than this particular win, but nevertheless, it is going to be Black Magic who are making that statement today that it's going to be them moving forward and looking at the wins. In fact, this map was just dominant so far. Look at that. Look at the frag wins, 9-5. That's insane.
It is absolutely insane, and the objective wins as well. Unfortunately for Madness, they weren't really able to get those objective wins off of Black Magic there, and it was just I think it just came down to, as you mentioned, Zach, the team play that Madness had on this particular map. It wasn't as strong as compared to Black Magic's.
I agree with you there, and it's kind of disappointing because even yesterday, Madness put up a much better show against their opposition. They lost 13-10, so it's much closer than it was today. Very unfortunate for them, and I don't know. Maybe I think their mental was just a little bit destroyed from the devastating loss that they faced on Breeze because they were on the verge of a comeback, but that last round it just fell apart in front of them right there, and they just weren't able to really come back from it. Bit unfortunate for them, but nevertheless, I think Black Magic they get a lot of credit for the way they played on Bind, especially the fact that they decided they had the confidence to go in for that double tilted pick, and they played it so well. Like you saw them sticking together every single round, both the Rays and the Reyna Movies and Pani X finding so much value off the back of their utility, and they were just able to get kills like they were bonking flies or something. That's what it felt like. It almost felt like they were swatting flies on the east side there.
I mean, especially that one round with where Penny Axe got the 4K. It's just 1 2 3 4. Oh, they're gone. And off the back of that, they were just able to convert that round, and that was just absolutely insane coming out from Arena, especially.
Yep, but after today's performance, we are going to be having the brackets so we can see who exactly is moving on and what kind of games we're going to be seeing tomorrow. So let's take a look. We had 2 games so far on the stream. The initial match was between Base 6 and X Team Bo. It is going to be X Team Bo moving on in a clean 2-0 fashion, and they're going to be playing X10 Sapphire day after tomorrow, I believe. So that's a huge matchup to watch out for right there. The winner of that gets a qualification slot to Elite, if I'm not wrong. So that's going to be a big W for them. On the other side of the bracket, though, looking at the lower bracket, it is going to be W Streaks versus BMG, who are moving on from today after this matchup. So that's a match that I would definitely love to watch or cast.
Definitely. I mean, definitely so. And Basis 6, they're going to be facing off the winner of ARF versus Big Sykes down in the lower brackets as well. So this could be a pretty interesting matchup. But the match between X Team Bo and X10 Sapphire, that's going to be insane.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be the ones casting that one, but I pity the caster because I don't know, I messed up a lot today. I kept saying X10 bows, so I really hope somebody else doesn't make that mistake. Learn from the caster errors that have already happened. Anyway, though, that is gonna be it for today. After these two action-packed BO3s, I think both Grammy and I need some rest, but we'll be seeing you back again tomorrow for the rest of the lower bracket matches. So we're gonna be signing off for today. I'm Zach. With me here is Grammy. This is LCQ. We'll be back tomorrow.